Okay, everyone, thank you for joining us. We will have everyone on mute today, and if you have any questions, please type it in the Q&A, not the chat. Okay, we are very lucky to have with us today Chris Lincell. Chris is the senior real estate writer for The Close and is an expert on real estate topics ranging from marketing, lead generation, transactional best practices, and everything in between. Thank you, Chris, for being with us this morning. How is the weather in Michigan today?
Honestly, I mean, it's not California, but it's pretty darn nice, frankly. We get a small window in Michigan where the weather is fantastic. And like last week of July to the first week of September is pretty spectacular. So I'm wearing a celebratory banana shirt to go out and enjoy some warm weather after this presentation today.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we're about 89, 90 today.
Well, we're definitely not that warm, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really built for that kind of weather. So
yeah. Oh no, California is beautiful. Okay, well, you're here today to talk about lead generation and nurturing of the leads. So we'll go ahead and get started. And remember, everyone, if you have a question, please type it in the Q&A.
That sounds great. And Jeanette, before I get rolling, I don't think I am a host for this, so I don't actually see the Q&A. So if the Q&A is fine, but if I'll just need somebody to relay those to me as you're seeing them if they're coming in. Okay.
Okay, I actually don't see a Q&A also because this is not a webinar. We're in a meeting status. So go ahead, everyone, and just type it in chat.
Yep, that sounds great, and I'll keep my eye on chat. So
okay.
if we've got,
are you going to be sharing the screen?
I will. Yep, I
okay.
Sure will.
I'm going to remove myself, and again, everyone, thank you for joining us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. So glad to have everybody here. I definitely recognize some names. I saw some faces I recognized as folks were hopping on. It's great to be with you again. I had such a great time hanging out, learning about you and your business and your market this summer at your meeting. And I'm excited to come back and do some more professional development and content and provide some strategic insight into a topic that is, frankly, it's just ever present in the real estate conversation, which is lead generation and nurturing. And it's super easy to lose sight of what's important in your business when you over focus on lead generation. Because remember, real estate is a relationships business. This is a business that is built on the foundations of trust, of expertise, of lending and giving that expertise freely, and at the same time using that experience to create stepping stones in somebody's home ownership journey. That's what our job is. But we can't effectively do that job if we don't have a pipeline that is delivering new opportunities to build those relationships. So today we're going to talk about some simple lead generation and follow-up strategies that you can use to convert more of your leads. What you're going to see on here today is almost certainly nothing that you haven't seen before in terms of the overall strategy, but it's more about how these things fit together. And it's more about what you do with leads when you get them that most agents and teams and brokers that I talk to are missing. So let's take a look today. Pull up my screen here. There we are. Okay, I'll make sure I got the chat open. Okay, now we're cooking. All right. Today, we're going to talk about 5 simple follow-up strategies to convert more leads. And I'm going to give you a whole bunch of templates of resources and of scripts that you can use to put this strategy into place. Okay, so not just a talking head today. You're actually going to walk away with what you need to actually do what we talk about today. So I want to start by talking about internet leads. A lot of realtors think that internet leads aren't worth the investment. A lot of realtors think that they shouldn't be paying for leads. And I want to just go on record as saying, I think these folks are wrong for a couple of reasons. First, whether you are paying cash for names and numbers, or whether you are investing in ongoing prospecting and nurturing relationships, you are paying for leads in one form or another. Not to say that there is one strategy that is better than the others, but it is a misnomer to think that you are not exchanging your time, your budget, or your talent for leads, because that's the way the business works. The problem isn't the leads, though. Did you know that the number of internet leads produced in 2021 was over 6x compared to the number of leads that were produced in 2015? That's according to the National Association of Realtors. I'm not making that up. We are producing from the web 6 times more leads than we were just 6.5 years ago now. But we're only closing a few more transactions, and that few more transactions accounts for the industry, the economic, and the inventory pressures that we're seeing here. It's not just because we have less inventory to convert. It's that the number of leads we're producing has exploded, but those leads, adjusting for all of the existential factors happening, are just not closing. So why is this? Why is it that we are producing all these leads and that we're not closing the number that we think we should? Well, it's not our lead generation that sucks. It's our follow-up and our nurturing strategies. It's not getting the name in your hand. It's what you do with that name and that number and that budding relationship. So, excuse me, my computer is dinging at me here. In this session, we're going to identify 5 follow-up and nurture strategies that every realtor needs in order to turn a profit on paid lead generation. And I'm going to give you the tools that you need to get started. Now, excuse me, I've identified specifically paid lead generation because it's relatively easy to quantify here, but these are strategies that you can use on any sort of lead, whether it's a referral, whether it's someone you meet in a coffee shop, whether this is somebody who you had a prior relationship from your sphere of influence, but you're looking to take that relationship to the next level, so to speak, or this is a name and a set of contact info that you got from Zillow or Market Leader or Bold Leads or any of the paid lead gen tools out there. Okay. I'm Chris Lincell. I'm a senior real estate writer. I'm a technology analyst and a coach with theclose.com. I've spent a long time in the real estate space as a solo agent, as a team leader, as a digital strategist and marketing expert and a trainer. And now I spend my time at The Close as our senior writer, working on the high value, high visibility content and breaking down technology tools that real estate professionals can use to support their growth and their goals. And one of my favorite parts of my jobs, of my job feels like jobs, lots of jobs. We all have lots of jobs. But one of my favorite things that I spend my time doing is working on those transactional best practices that agents can use to build and scale the business that they want. And this is some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. So we're going to go over 5 strategies here. Again, as I mentioned before, we're not reinventing the wheel here, but we are going to talk about these things, hopefully through a lens that maybe you haven't seen before. And we're going to provide some tools and some resources that you can use to put these things into practice. So we're going to look at consistent email marketing. We're going to look at effective social remarketing. Remarketing is the key there. Looking forward to chatting that through. We're going to look at timely text messages, perfectly designed voicemails, and efficient live lead follow-up. This is what we're looking to achieve. The flywheel effect. We're looking to create a system in which our nurturing creates a self-sustaining system of business that you can use to not just create some stable and predictable revenue for your business, but also gives you the building blocks that you can use to then grow, hire team members, maybe open your own brokerage, maybe create the life and the business that you want with a little bit more time left for you. So you can go enjoy the summer like I'm going to in this banana shirt after our call today. And if you've got questions, fantastic. We'll definitely talk about it. You can drop them in the chat. I'd love to hear from folks. If I don't get to your question right away, that's okay. I've got my eye on that chat. I'll make sure we answer it. If you don't feel like making that a public question, that's okay. You can email me directly at chris@theclose.com, or you can find me on Twitter, send me a DM, send me a LinkedIn request, or you can just connect with me. If you want to argue with me about things on social media, that's what lots of people do. I'd be happy to argue with you or commiserate, talk about what we're doing in our business. Let's level each other up through that. So let's dive in. Email marketing. Now, why are we talking about email marketing? Guys, if you don't know email marketing, you are missing out. The Data and Marketing Association of America estimates that for every $1 you spend on email marketing, you get 42 back. And this is industry specific to the real estate space. Email marketing is without a doubt the highest ROI way that you can spend your budget, your time, and your talent when it comes to nurturing your leads. So what is email marketing? Well, pretty straightforward. Here's the basics. You collect emails via lead generation, right? We get emails from all sorts of places. I bet you a lot of your websites have email capture portals. I bet you a lot of your lead generation strategies offer an email address as a contact point. So you're collecting these emails and you're putting these emails, and it's helpful to think about these as the emails you've collected, but you're not putting email addresses into a sequence. You're putting people. You're putting the people attached to those email addresses into a messaging sequence that consistently delivers value. Now, it's important to note the second block in the strategy here is consistently deliver value to people who don't immediately convert. I'm not talking about the Zillow leads who hit you up and say, hey, look, I was looking at this house on 123 Main Street. This looks great. I'd love to get in today. Let's get in there. I think this is my dream home. If it looks good, we'll write an offer. These are folks that don't need email marketing. They're converting. They're ready to rock and roll. But the folks who aren't converting right away, remember, we are 6x on the number of internet leads. The folks who aren't calling you up to do showings and write contracts right away, but who do provide an email address, these are people who you can consistently deliver value to in an effort to remain valuable in their eyes. And the longer you remain valuable, the longer you provide something that helps them along in their home ownership journey, the more likely you are to passively move them down the funnel. Remember, we think about our leads in a funnel. We get a whole bunch of them at the top, and as we go lower and lower and closer to a transaction, some of them are going to fall off. Some of them are going to jump out of there. They change their mind. But as using email marketing, you can passively move them down that funnel until they're ready to buy or sell. Now, I love email marketing because it's a small investment of your time, and then it runs without a lot of attention. You can set up basic email drip sequences that create An easy way for you to provide value, tested value over and over and over. It's dependable. It doesn't require a lot of fussing. Once you get something that works, you can relatively set it and forget it. And this is something where you can test your results super easily. Now, there are a ton of different hold on. We're going to get to that. Don't want to jump the gun here. There are a ton of different email providers that you can use out there. For my money, I would say for real estate professionals, you should start by looking at what sort of email options are there within your CRM. If you're looking for great email marketing from a CRM, LionDesk provides really great email marketing. Elevate, a relatively new CRM, provides great email marketing. If you have a big team or an enterprise level organization, Top Producer is a great option. Boomtown offers great email marketing. But if you want to go outside of your CRM, basic providers like Constant Contact, MailChimp, even a relatively new one called Flowdesk. These are all good options, and I'm happy to recount those later if you are needing some reminders on what those might be. Here's an example of some solid email follow-up, and this is an example of a script that you can use to follow up with somebody who maybe has requested some information about a property. Now, this script that you see here is a part of a collection of the 19 best real estate email templates and scripts that we put together last year over on the close. I'm just going to click over so you can see. You have all of these scripts. We've got, this is a great one from Ryan Serhant, newer agent seller meeting follow-up email. We've got open house feedback reports. We've got seller lead email as a part of the funnel. We've got a huge collection of these that you can download and get all of those templates for you. And again, I'm going to share this presentation to everybody, so you'll get a chance to have all of these links. Go check them out. The bottom line is, here's what you can expect from email marketing. Good email marketing provides about a 3.5% click-through rate. That means that if you send 500 emails every month, that's about 6,000 a year, you're going to get 3.5%, 210 leads are going to come through. Okay. If you can convert just 3% of those leads, you're going to end up with 6 more closings every year. Now, it requires some work for sure. Picking up 500 new email addresses every month is not easy, but you can adjust this number up and down. And you can see, even if we cut this in even by like down to 150 new email addresses every month, you'd be yielding at least 1 more closing every year just from passive email marketing. And most real estate agents already have these tools at their fingertips thanks to their CRM. If you're not email marketing, this is a missed opportunity. But it's not the only missed opportunity. Let's talk a little bit about social media remarketing. Now, most people know what social media is, but not a lot of people are familiar with the term remarketing. Remarketing is when somebody visits your website, but they don't convert. As a part of their visit, we put a little cookie, a little piece of code onto their web browser so that the next time they are on social media, your web browser can say, hey, this person visited Mario's website. He didn't convert. So let's show him some ads based on his activity on your website. Remarketing is what happens when you go to take a look at boots from Doc Martin, but you don't end up making a purchase. And then you wind up seeing ads for those same Doc Martin boots on Facebook or on Instagram. It is incredibly effective. Remarketing can increase your repeat website traffic by over 50%, according to Neil Patel. So here's a basic strategy. A non-converting website visitor gets a cookie. That visitor is fed your ads on Facebook thanks to that cookie. The ads served drive visitors back to your website and push them further down the conversion funnel. All of this technology exists. All of this stuff is a couple of clicks away. And if you aren't super savvy on how to install this stuff on your website, there are providers on Fiverr or on Upwork who can set this up for you for literally less than $100. Some of them less than $50. This is a couple of clicks, and it's an easy way to drive repeat visitors back to your website. Now, why do I love this? First of all, it's completely passive. All this costs is money. You have to do your initial setup, which you can pay somebody else to do. And then this runs completely in the background. You do not need to monitor the ads that are happening. You don't need to monitor the traffic. All you need to do is make sure you have an active credit card on file. The budget is scalable. You don't have to spend money you don't want to. But if you're seeing results from this, if you're seeing leads are coming back to your website and converting, you can get more aggressive with your budget. You can increase the number of places your ads appear and measure conversion there, because this is also a very testable strategy. This is the sort of thing that you can see using your ad platform, like the Facebook or Instagram ad platform, and then the analytics on your website. You can see how many people you're driving back, and you can see directly how many of those people are converting. Imagine the power of this sort of remarketing strategy combined with email marketing. All of a sudden, you have two ways that you are passively providing value and offering to connect with people. All it is costing is your initial time setup and then a passive budget. Here's an example of some remarketing. Okay, I visited the Zephyr Real Estate Company. I was looking at this specific home on Yukon Street, super cute, but I didn't end up requesting information or a showing, and I just exited out. But before I left the Zephyr Real Estate Company website, they installed a cookie on my browser, and then the next time I was on Facebook, I saw this ad. Hey, I was just looking at this house. Or maybe it's an ad that shows a house that is very similar to the one that I was just looking at. These are all options when it comes to remarketing. Either way, I see this and I say, oh, wow, this is just like what I was looking at. Or this is exactly, maybe I want to learn a little bit more. Well, we have a guide over on the Close that I helped create, how to create effective real estate Facebook ads. Get rid of that, won't pop up. Sorry about that. A full-size ad or full-size guide that offers you step-by-step instructions. We offer you steps through how to choose and set up your ads, how to target effectively, how to choose remarketing based on cookie performance, the whole schmear, and you'll have access to this guide through this presentation. The bottom line is, when it comes to remarketing, 19%. That's what we save. Lead abandonment goes down 19% when you use remarketing. That means 1 in 5 of the people who left your site without giving you any information, without reaching out and setting up an appointment, 1 in 5 of those people are going to come back and they're going to reach out to you. If you can use remarketing to drive 150 people back to your website, that's 1,800 people back to your website, or excuse me, you can drive 150 unique web visits, and your typical abandon rate is 78%, and we're taking that down 19% with remarketing. Of those 1,800 website visits, you're going to get 342 more active and engaged leads per year. Think about how many opportunities you're going to get by using remarketing. This is a simple strategy that feels complicated on the outset, but you can hire help for the technical stuff if you're not in line on that. I love remarketing. I spend personally, for the team that I help operate here in Michigan, we spend over $1,000 a month just on remarketing on Facebook and on Instagram, and it's incredibly effective. We have more conversations that happen and we can see it. We can see when traffic to the website spikes. We can watch these things on Google Analytics. Incredibly effective. All right, we're moving and shaking. I'm going to move through the next few a little bit quicker because I want to make sure we save a little bit more time for questions. So I want to get into text message marketing next. Guys, text message marketing is the new email marketing. I'm not saying that email marketing needs to go away. Obviously, it's important. I called it out in the first leg of this presentation here. But did you know that 83% of millennials will open SMS text messages within 90 seconds of receiving them? Doesn't matter where they are. If they get a text message, they're opening it. And according to Open Market Data Solutions, 75% of millennials would prefer texting when it comes to delivery, not just of personal messages, not just of important info, but of promotional material, of ads. They prefer this over other delivery sources. So how can you use this as a lead generation strategy and as a lead nurturing strategy? Well, starts with that paid lead generation. If you're collecting a phone number during lead generation, text message marketing is a viable option for you. Remember, we were talking about collecting emails before, right? That's how we get into email marketing. Well, if you're collecting phone numbers, you can plug in text message marketing. There are plenty of options within lots of native CRMs to create a text message cadence similar to your email marketing cadence. That CRM I called out before, Elevate, they have a fantastic set of templates of text message marketing, just like you are text message marketing, or excuse me, just like your email marketing. You're going to deliver these text messages periodically to re-engage your leads, continue to provide value. Now, I love text message marketing because it provides high open rates, really high engagement rates. We know that upwards of 75% of folks are opening within 90 seconds. I think the overall open rate for text messages is some north of 90%. We know people are reading these messages. We know that it's a very interactive form. It's very easy to text back quickly, and you can deliver very precisely the messages you want when you want. When it comes to email, it's kind of it's tougher to know when someone is going to open an email. You can deliver a text message at the perfect time, and you can do it automatedly. Here's some examples of some good text messaging. Okay, we've got a couple of text message scripts here. I'm just going to pop this open so you can see. Put together an article with a contributor I helped work with. This is a 6-day new lead text messaging campaign, including scripts. Okay, so we've got all the scripts in here. If you're actually reading this on your phone, for instance, you can just copy these right to your clipboard of your phone, so you can plug them right in if you feel like it, or you can copy them to a doc. We also have a place where you can download all of these if you want to have them all downloaded. What do we get from text messages? Well, text messages. Oh yeah, excellent. How can I get those text scripts? You bet. I'm gonna send out this presentation that's gonna have all of these links in here. So you're gonna have access links to the email templates, to the Facebook ad guide, and to the text messaging scripts right at your fingertips. So, typical results. Text message follow-up has an early response rate of 15 to 20%. Okay? This is ridiculously high. You are going to get at least 15 to 20% of people responding to you, whether or not they convert into a lead. We're still early enough in this technology that we don't have great numbers on how message to lead conversion percentages are, but in my personal experience, it is north of 10%. Somewhere, I would say somewhere between 8.5% and 12% most of the time. And when you compare that to like, or when you combine that, I should say, with like a 1-2 punch of text message marketing and email marketing, your early response rate is something like 35 or 40% for your collective leads. It's pretty insane. So, text message marketing. Think about how text message marketing could plug into your overall strategy. You've got email marketing, you've got social remarketing, and you've got text message marketing. All of these different places that you can connect with people and continue to provide them value. Voicemail marketing is a strategy not a lot of people have actively used, but they should. And here's why. Did you know that 90% of first voicemails go unreturned? This is the unsolicited ones. If you leave somebody a voicemail and they didn't expect you to call, 90% of those are going to go unreturned. Okay? Not a great number, not terrible, but not a great number. But did you know that if you jump up to a second voicemail, it's only 75% of those go unreturned? You pick up a significant amount of audience by using voicemails consistently. So how can we use this? Give me a basic voicemail marketing strategy. Well, remember, we're collecting phone numbers. We collect phone numbers for text messages. We can apply it here too. Find a direct communication bypass provider. Okay, these are companies like SlyDial. I'm going to pull up SlyDial right now so you can see who I'm talking about. Ringless voicemail. If you haven't heard about these guys, really great. You can record a voicemail, put in a contact number, and it will deliver straight to their voicemail. Their phone doesn't even ring. SlyDial also offers some cool integrations with different platforms, including your CRM. They also offer group voice messaging. They call it Sly Broadcast. Let's say you've got an open house that you want to get the word out to all of your potential buyers. You can record a single voicemail and then broadcast it out to everyone in that cohort, and it feels like a personalized message. Then you're going to schedule voicemails as a secondary follow-up to other communications. Think about how powerful it would be if you dropped an email marketing message to somebody saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know I've got this great buyer's guide for how you can prepare yourself to make a purchase in our community. I've included a link to it here. Feel free to check it out if you have any questions. Reach out to me. And then pair it with a voicemail to say, hey, just wanted to make sure you got that buyer's guide. I was thinking about your home ownership goals, and there's some really good stuff in there for you. That sort of confirmation of existing value and providing people with another means of follow-up is the sort of difference that good nurturers take advantage of. I love text message marketing because voicemails are a great way to convey tone of voice and emotion. Messages can be easily updated. It's super easy to record a voicemail. It's not like writing an email, creating a social post that takes some kind of artwork and design know-how. All you have to do is speak into the phone. And voicemails can make your other communications more effective. These are great add-on strategies. Here's an example of a solid voicemail that you can leave. Okay, I've got a good script here, but I'm not going to read through this because you've got access to these scripts. We've got a whole collection, in fact. I can pop it open. Well, I'll have to look on the link on that. Maybe the link isn't. All right, well, I'll have to check the link on this one. For some reason that's not opening. I have a link or a collection of real estate voicemail scripts that are proven to get some responses that you guys will get access to as well. So I love come on. Here we go. I love voicemail because I have demonstrated in my own personal business that I don't get a ton of new leads like just from voicemail, but I find that my email and my text message marketing is so much more effective when it's paired with voicemail marketing. And when I pair my text message marketing and voicemail marketing together, anything that I'm trying to offer in a very timely way, like let's say a new listing hits the market, or I've got an open house, or there's a price improvement that I want to get the word out about. The 1-2 punch of text message marketing and voicemail marketing together is by far the most efficient and scalable way to get that message out to the most number of people at the right time. Home stretch, guys. Let's talk about the last one, scheduled live calling. Now, I know there are a lot of folks who kind of shudder at the idea of working the phones, pounding the phones, as we would say. But it's important to know the Baylor Business Keller Center for Research conducted an exhaustive study on what they call cool calls, which are people who have heard of you but aren't expecting a call from you. 1 out of every 4 real estate cool calls are answered if the recipient is available. They'll at least engage you in conversation. Will they create a business opportunity? That's not quite at 1 in 4, but they're going to talk to you. Cool calls where you have some exposure in a market is far more effective and less scary than most people think. So here's a basic live calling strategy. Okay. You've got a collection of phone numbers. Remember, you're collecting phone numbers in your lead generation. These are people who have at least heard of you. So set aside some time to reach these people. Start by setting a cadence. What I mean by setting a cadence is go to your calendar, block off some time each day to do some calling. Make that protected time. And then set aside the optimal 30 minutes each day to reach your leads. When is it going to be convenient for them? And then you're going to use a script to reach out. What kind of value are you going to be providing? Have a voicemail script backup as a backup so you're ready to go. It sounds a little scary, but it really isn't. You have all sorts of scripts. In fact, let's see here. And I'm going to get to the scripts in just a second. I think these are a little out of order. I love live calling because a 5-minute conversation with people can lead to big effects when it comes to converting that lead. And the more you do your calling, the better you're going to get it. Monica, I totally agree. The Baylor Business and Keller Center, they are cranking out some really good data. If you guys haven't heard of them, make sure to check them out. I can send out a link to some of my favorite studies too. I've got an example of some cold calling here that I'm not going to play right now, but this is actually in this video, I think, is in, let's see here. I think we included it here. Yep, there it is. We've got a cold calling kind of guide with a ton of scripts and examples that you can use kind of to help set yourself up for success. Again, you'll have access to this guide and these scripts as a part of this presentation. So I'll let you take a look at this video on your own. But really cool. Beverly is an incredible cold calling expert and has generated tens of millions of dollars in business working the phones with people who barely know who she is. It's pretty amazing to watch. Oops, no, we're not going to watch Beverly. Sorry. Okay, so we've gotten through the strategies, and here's where things really come together, guys. These individual strategies, email, remarketing, text message marketing, voicemail marketing, live calling, follow-ups, all of these things are good on their own. But what is better is when these things start working in tandem or in like all together, when you're combining multiple of these strategies to generate an opportunity for them to be greater than, the whole to be greater than the sum of the parts, the synergy when it comes to this sort of nurturing strategy. Okay. So here is an example. Again, you guys will have these slides, so you'll be able to see what this plan looks like and be able to adjust it and put it together for yourself. So let's say we've got a stalled buyer lead. Okay, we've got a Zillow lead called on a particular house. By the time they called, the house was under contract, or by the time you guys got a chance to see it, it was under contract. They haven't really expressed, excuse me, they haven't really expressed interest in anything else, and have kind of gone silent on you. So how can we use some of these nurturing strategies to get this person to a signed client who's actively looking for homes? Well, let's start off with a call. Okay, can I set you up on a market snapshot? Can I get you a recurring email going? Okay. They're gonna say, yeah, sure. Get me you can start sending me emails. That's okay. I don't want a ton of them. So, you set up like a every 2 weeks, maybe every 10 days cadence, sending them what's available on the market. Okay. But that's not quite enough because we want to maintain our consistent value. You don't want to, they don't want to, you don't want to only remind them that you're here to help every 10 days or 2 weeks, right? So let's start with some text messages. I'm going to provide you with some text messages, giving you little bites of information, helping you along the way. And then I'm also going to start installing Facebook remarketing. Now, the reason we're doing that here, right, is because we want to not provide them necessarily with properties, but let's provide them with buyer resources. Let's get them excited about the process. Okay. Add some more text messages to the mix here. And then we can start following in some voicemails. Okay. The market snapshot email came in. You can automate a market snapshot follow-up voicemail. Again, you don't have to have any information ahead of time. You can pre-record this. This can be generic. Hey, I sent you a snapshot of the market. Just wanted to know if you had any questions. Feel free to reach out at any time. Okay. In blue, we've got another call. Oh, I don't know if you got my voicemail the other day. I was thinking about you because I've got a lender that I can recommend. I just had lunch with this person. They're really great. I think that they would work well with what you're looking for. Would you like me to send over that information? Got some more text messages. We can drop a voicemail for an invitation to an open house. Hey, we've got an open house coming up, or even better, hey, there's an open house coming up. It's not my listing, but it does look like the sort of place you might be interested in. Would you like to go together? And then a live call. I was just thinking about you and your home search, wondering how you're feeling, what I can do for you. This is 15 touches that are going to give that stalled buyer lead over the course of, I don't know, 90 days, a ton of opportunities to connect with you and to recognize your value. Now, it seems like a lot of work, and it is, frankly. Trying to manage all of these separate components to the strategy is hard. Okay. There are a lot of different things that you'd have to execute here. But the good news is a robust real estate CRM is a great option for agents who want to coordinate their follow-up. Okay. There are a ton of great real estate CRMs that offer automations on text messages, on Facebook marketing, on voicemail drops, on email marketing. The only thing that you need to do yourself are these blue live calls. Okay. Now, I am in charge at the close of kind of kicking the tires of the tech products out there. I've done buyer's guides for the best free real estate CRMs. If you don't want to spend a single dollar on your CRM, you can go with that direction. You can go with something that is a specialized product just for the real estate space. I've got a guide for that as well over on the close. But I've also looked at a ton of others. So anything that you see on the screen in the specialized real estate space is going to offer the automation that you need for things like email and text message and even voicemail drops. Not all of them do the voicemail drop, actually, but you can work with a player like SlyDial and coordinate that if they don't integrate directly. So I've been talking through a whole bunch of stuff here. Talked through our 5 different strategies, talked through how you can integrate those things together with a plan, and given you some automation suggestions as far as the platforms you can use. And if you don't see your CRM on here, that's okay too. I bet you your CRM, if it's a real estate specific one, is going to have options for automating that stuff as well. And Monica, I agree. The slide aisle, that's a game changer. Super easy. Eileen, to your question, will you for this presentation? Will you do this? Let's see here. Will you for this presentation again? If so, when? Not totally sure I understand that one. Maybe will I do this presentation again? Not sure exactly, but clarify that for me in the chat. Happy to help. But I want to come together for some questions. What questions do you guys have in the last little bit here about lead nurturing, about lead generation? Feel free to drop anything in the chat. And I do have my Twitter open as well. If anybody, let me see if anybody's shot me questions over there. I can read those out. And again, if you don't want your questions to be public, feel free to send me a private message. I'm happy to ask and answer them anonymously too. That's okay. Okay. Oh, look, somebody did send me a question on Twitter. Way to go. Way to go, real estate agents utilizing Twitter. Okay, so the question I saw over on Twitter is how much should I be spending on paid lead generation? So the how much should I be spending on paid lead generation question is usually a question of proportion. There's not really a dollar amount that I recommend to people that they should spend on lead gen, but I do recommend that folks spend anywhere between 15 to 30% of their underlying revenue on their marketing costs. You should be using upwards of, frankly, 20 to 25% is really the sweet spot I've found. But for every dollar or for every $4 that come into your business, you should be spending $1 of that on promoting and marketing your business. And usually I tell people to break down their marketing dollars. About 40 to 50% of that should go to lead generation. If you're looking to scale your business and you are outside of that kind of honeymoon phase where all of your business is coming from your sphere of influence and from referrals. If you're looking to just scale your business with new contacts, you should be spending 25 to 30% of your revenue on marketing, and about half of that should go to paid lead generation. Good question.
Hey, Christopher.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you doing? Quick question on the lead sources. I'm seeing a lot of the lead sources right now that are fixed costs, seeing kind of a higher cost per lead because the lead flow is slowed down with some of the changes that are happening in the market. What are some of the lead kind of sources that you're seeing are holding a good low cost per lead right now?
Yeah, great question. So a couple of different things. One, I see exactly the same thing. We see a lot of lead sources kind of moving towards kind of changing their model. As far as cost per lead, there's a couple of players that I have noticed are doing a good job. Market Leader seems to be doing a good job in most markets. It's not in every market, but Market Leader seems to be offering a good cost per lead exchange. And the leads have been relatively consistent too. Like you're not just paying a good price, but you're seeing a relatively dependable lead flow. I have seen that Market Leader has ratcheted back a little bit what their expectations are. So they're trying to set expectations a little bit more conservatively, but they've been pretty solid. Another company that actually I just learned about, I spoke at the Inman Connect conference in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and there's another company, and I'm not being paid by them. They were really pretty interesting. So I thought I'd shout them out here. They are sold.com. They focus specifically on seller leads. This is their consumer facing page, But if you are a real estate agent, let's see if I can come up with the link for, is it Partner Central? Yeah, here we are. Okay. So sold.com has a really compelling model for generating listing leads. This is a no cost upfront and then a percentage on the back end model, but their cost per lead, like their referral percentage, is low relative to like Zillow Flex or any of the other kind of referral style strategies. It's still up there, but it is there's no upfront cost to it, and they offer a really interesting concierge service at no extra cost. So when you break down all the services that you get from sold.com, the cost per lead, if you're looking for a no cost upfront option, is really, really solid. The other one that I wanted to shout out as far as a company that's still doing a good job in their cost per lead is it's actually not, I don't know if technically it's a lead generation company, but it's called Revaluate. Let's see if I can call, there we are. Revaluate. They are a predictive analytics company that is, they basically sort and source your sphere of influence, your contact list, and identify the most likely candidates to buy or sell within your existing sphere of influence and your existing contact list. Their service costs $1 per contact, and they have had really good results, kind of percentages, like $1 per contact per year. So if you have 2,000 contacts, they're $2,000 for the year, but you wind up with a lot of really solid leads and kind of interesting directions with them. So it's difficult to call them necessarily a straight up lead gen company. They're more like a data analytics kind of existing contact sorter. But for the agents that I've talked to that are Revaluate users, that they have a really they use the product a lot, they're closing 5, 6, 7 deals a year as a result of Revaluate's prioritization services. So this is another one that I'm watching very closely, is offering a lot of value. Okay. Other questions? Yeah, you bet, Monica. Guys, we are bumping up on time here, so I want to make sure that everyone sees, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to chat. Feel free to find me on social media, email me directly, and if you want to check out what we're doing over at The Close, you can. It's easy. You can visit us at theclose.com. Pretty straightforward. Oh, look, here's the article I wrote, the 5 real estate tech trends disrupting the real estate industry. This was after my week at Speaking at Inman. But we have a whole bunch of cool stuff. This is just the homepage here. You can see we've got agent basics, we've got lead generation, we've got a bunch of videos if you just can't get enough of my face, marketing, tech reviews, the whole schmear is on here. So don't hesitate to reach out there, and I will make sure that I share this presentation with Jeanette so that she can pass it along to you guys and you can get access to those links in the presentation.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Jeanette, anything else I can do for you?
No, Chris, that was great. And they are going to look forward to your presentation. And we did record it, everyone. So we'll have that link for you soon. Just look for it in the Today Matters Monday email.
Super.
You're the best, Chris. Thanks.
Well, you guys are the best. I hope everybody has a fantastic Wednesday, and we'll speak to you soon.
Nice shirt.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you, Chris.